Beep, 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 beep. Welcome to the Court of the EDI. Just a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever the hell you are. This is an extraordinary story. Absolutely gobsmacking. And so, you just think, how low can we go? This low. Okay? So please do like and share. You can join now, become a Jesterite. Yeah, become a Jesterite. Join the channel, join the community. We're having some fun. This is from America, so it's California. And it's from theDailySignal.com. So again, everything is usually the Dubris for you to have a look at. Father whose son had transgender surgery despite court order issues dire warning about parental rights. Yes, you heard that correct. Father whose son, they had transgender surgery despite court order. Now they're ignoring the courts. The cult. It's unbelievable. Californian father, Ted Hudako, his name is, who has urged a court to find his ex-wife, her lawyer, his son's lawyer, and a hospital in contempt of court after they went around a court order stipulating that his son would not receive transgender-related surgery unless the father approved it. This is not an accident, Ted said. This was in a phone interview with the Daily Signal. This was intentionally done. He also warned that two of the figures in the story, the judge who revoked his visitation rights and the lawyer who represents the University of California, San Francisco, where the surgery took place, are pro-transgender activists who train custody attorneys to undermine the parental rights of non-affirming parents. Parents refuse to affirm their child's decision to identify as another gender. This is, if you're in the UK, right, or Ireland, or anywhere else for that matter, it doesn't actually matter. I don't know why I said that, but I did. This is the future we're heading for. We know in this country there is an element of the judiciary that is captured by Stonewall. We know that in this country this type of training to tell people how to get around things like this is going on. We know, and so do Australia, and so do New Zealand, and many other places. France. And my warrior teachers tell me all the time this sort of stuff's happening. It's unbelievable to undermine affirming. If you don't affirm, we're going to take your children. This is truly dystopian. This is truly dragging the kids away. Dragging the parents away from the kids while they take the kids away to remove their breasts or their cock and balls. It is absolutely dystopian, beyond belief. Hudako exclusively shared the 4 contempt of court filings with the Daily Signal. The filings claimed that his ex-wife, Christine Hudako, her attorney, Nathaniel Bigger, his son's attorney, Daniel Harkins, and the university violated on August 2020 or an August 2020 order from Californian Superior Court Judge Joni Hiramoto. Hiramoto had granted Christine Hudako full custody of the son, Drew Hudako, but restricted any transgender medical interventions Drew might receive to non-surgical alterations. The son's name has been changed in this article to preserve his anonymity. City's Christine Hudako, her attorney Nathaniel Bigger, Minors Counsel Daniel Harkins, and University of California, San Francisco should be held in contempt, is the statement here. Because each knew about, then collectively conspired to willfully disobey what is herein deemed the no surgery injunction, i.e. Judge Hiramoto's valid August the 26th, 2020 court order explicitly prohibiting any gender identity related surgery upon the minor child. The motions read, right? It's only when you stop and think about, never mind that it's America, it doesn't really matter where it is actually, because we'd expect this sort of state intervention and certainly surgical interventions of this nature in some kind of banana republic run by a nutter. This is California, right? So once you start to think about this, it takes you down some very dark holes. This is America. This is America, where people may well have conspired to get around a court order on the belief system of transgenderism and gender and queer and all the stuff that comes with it. That's what they've done. You know, it makes me question, when I sat and thought about it when I read it for the first time, it makes me question whether the belief in this is a mental illness. is a derangement, is actually an impairing derangement, in which case these people are ill. Is it? How are we going to deal with it? What are we going to do? How are we going to deal with them? Well, I mean, I say that as if it's complicated. It's not complicated. It genuinely isn't. People go, we must... No, I don't. Right? Here's what you do. Every organisation, it doesn't matter who you are, identifies who they are and sacks them on the spot. And then they can wait 10 years to get to the employment tribunal about them mooning. And the public will take the hit. It'll be cheaper. I call it doing a Coinbase, which I've mentioned to you before. It's unconscionable. We need to find ways to make sure that they're excluded from society. That's the only thing you can do, is to send them to Coventry till they behave. That's an old English phrase, years ago. And people still do it, right? So it used to happen years ago with friendship groups. Somebody misbehaved or they'd done something dreadful. You'd send them to Coventry, wouldn't speak to them. It's as if they weren't there. As if they were. There was a science fiction story about that. Very similar to the idea of the letter on the head. You know, they put the letter on the head, and if someone's got a letter on the head, you're forbidden to speak to them. I don't want to go that far, obviously. I thought rules of it. I don't want to go that far. But I think you send them to Coventry. You go, right, okay, that's it, we're done. Until you get your senses back, we're done. That's what we do. Businesses are going to have to take the hit. They have to take the hit. There's some seriously worrying stuff going on around small businesses. Nobody's paying attention to that. Nobody is paying attention to that. Councils like Labour are funding these nutters to bother small businesses. Small businesses are 95% of what goes on in this country. 95% of the employers are small businesses. We only ever talk about this in terms of the C-suite, don't we? The top ones, Tesco's and, Lush, people like that. They're going to pay these, they're building an army of people who will go out with these nutty ideas in their heads and will bother SMEs. How do we get that message out there to SMEs? Do not engage with these people, for they are dangerous. How do we get that message out to SMEs? That's 95%. We need primary legislation. I've said it before and I'll say it again. We need primary legislation. It's the only way that this is going to be solved. They've done it in various other places. Didn't they do it in Ohio, Ohio? I'm sure they did. The engagement or the teaching with the following, and that should come with serious public consequences. I'm not making it a crime, but that should become with serious public consequences. So, for example, if you're a business and you're practicing this, then it would be deemed to be something that your employees could sue you for. It doesn't have to be a criminal. I'm not saying it should be a criminal offence. I'm saying that when you force people to get involved in this nonsense, and also if councils are doing it, that's public money, right? Because they'll do it. I think the mayor of Manchester's up to his eyeballs in this nonsense as well. From let's be kind and let's include to a group of people undermining the willful judgment of the court, and doing so, and in doing so, irreparably damaging a child on the Church of Gender's altar. It makes my stomach go over, it really does. I know it does yours too. We need to look at legislation. Under no circumstances will public fund right down the chain. So the public gives, the money's given to the council by the government. Under no circumstances can it be spent on anything that involves power and grievance narratives, the elevation of certain groups into these affinity groups. This is, I think, the only way to go now. The only way to go, because they aren't going to stop. They've tasted blood. They aren't going to stop. They know the power it gives them. If you've got better ideas than me, God, for God's sake, tell us. Get it on the Twitters and give us a rundown. It's hard not to be downcast by this nonsense, but this article, which there is much more to, please do go and read, right? It knocked my head off. Excuse me, what? Really? They undermine... If this is true, the court system's failed. If this is true and they get away with it, the court system in America, in California, has failed. It's completely captured, it's fallen. We are really in dark, dark totalitarian territory then. Go and have a read. Let me know what you think in the Dubras. Share, buy me a coffee, usual stuff, all right? I'll leave you to it for now. I'll see you later. Bye.